Hey there, travel beauty chasers, and welcome back to Chasing Travel Beauty with Stephanie. Yes, I'm Stephanie. Okay, so we are on day 5. Count it, that's 10. 5. And we're on day 5 of this daily series that we're doing. And, I'm really excited about it. I'm really glad that I have been watching Glow Atamo, and she was encouraging people who have YouTube channels or who were wanting to be storytellers and be on YouTube to do this daily practice. And at first I thought, there is no way. My life is busy. I have things. There's no way I'm going to be able to fit in doing this every day. And so I love the fact that when you start a daily practice, not only the mindset that comes with it and the discipline that comes with it, but it reminds you, like, I can do hard things. I can do inconvenient things. And so it's not just about, doing a daily video. It's about how can I apply that same learning and understanding to other areas of my life. So it's amazing. But even as I think about doing this daily series, I say, even when it's not maybe convenient, because you can see I'm still in the hotel. May not be convenient for all that's going on right now, but I so feel that in the end, if we can build a community of like-minded travelers, it will be so worth it. If in the end there's one person whose day is brightened or they have a little bit more joy, it's worth it. So I'm excited that you guys are here watching on today. The last couple of days, the last 2 days, in fact, we have been talking about this idea of awe and wonder and childlike joy. And it was interesting. In addition to the daily practice of doing the videos every day, I also started 1 hour per a day watching masterclass. So they were having a special at the end of the year. I was like, I'm going to do this. I need something that's really like going to fill me with more information, inspiration, more knowledge. Not that school is not enough. But I thought, I'm not going to be working. I'm going to do something else to really, feed that side of me. So grow in my intelligence, in my learning, my understanding. And so I happened to, be scrolling through, okay, what am I going to listen to today? What do I want to hear about? And I've done some really great things. I've done one on AI. I've done one on wellness and exercise. I've done one on the benefits of sleeping. It's all been great. And this one I saw, I was like, oh, they have Jay Shetty. I love Jay Shetty. And this was clearly an older one because it was when he had shorter hair, and it was about change. And I thought, wow, I'm really at that place in my life where I'm, making this pivot. So after spending 25 plus years in the pharma marketing space, I'm now in transition, full-time student and figuring out what's next. I feel like what I think I see is going to be a nonprofit as the next thing. And so I thought, yeah, let me listen to this thing about change, because I am clearly in that place and space of change. And what can I learn to make this process easier, faster, more efficient? And so I'm like, let me listen to this. Well, lo and behold, now all the information about change was great, but lo and behold, one of the segments was discovering awe. And I thought, okay, God, you are trying to get a message to me, and I am going to listen. So he had an expert on, and she was talking about this idea of discovering awe. And she mentioned that there was some research done by UC Berkeley on the benefits of this idea of awe. Now, we have been talking about awe and wonder and, how it can, reduce stress, increase overall well-being. Well, in this study, they showed that it actually leads to resilience. So in the study, they had people who were in a hospital who had gone through surgery. One group, one part of the control group, they went into a room and they basically had a window, or they either didn't have a window and they were looking at a wall, or they had a window and they could just see another building. So basically a wall. And the other group had a window and they could see trees. And what they showed was everyone who ended up in a window with trees healed and recovered faster. And so the overall takeaway was awe leads to resilience. Now, one of the wonderful things that she talked about was that, this awe, clearly in this case, they were looking at trees. It wasn't necessarily that they were like, she said, you don't necessarily have to go to the Grand Canyon. Like, it doesn't have to be this massive sense of awe, but just nature being a sense of awe. So whatever that thing is that feels like awe to you, that helps you see that there's something bigger than yourself, that again makes us feel small in the best possible way, that we're connected to something so much bigger, is that thing that leads to resilience. And I was just like, I was blown away. Okay. I was blown away by this. I was blown away so much so that I thought, well, I think I know what resilience means, because I always tell people I feel like, I'm very resilient. I remember, when my mom passed away, and I took some time off from work, but then I came back to work, like hit the ground running and like was doing all these things. And I remember saying to my leader, direct leader, manager at that time, Brian, like, clearly I feel like I am such a resilient person. So I feel like I had an awareness of the word resilient. But I was like, you know what? I gotta look up the definition for resilient. So let me read this to you so I don't miss anything. It says resilience, the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties, having toughness. And the second was the ability of a substance or an object to spring back to shape, elasticity, flexibility, pliability. I said, when we think about all that's going on in the world today, I mean, how many of us need to be resilient? I know we need that ability to be tough under pressure. We need that ability to be able to bounce back when life punches us in the face, okay? We need that ability to be able to stand up under pressure when someone we love is in the hospital, right? We need resilience, and awe is a way to get there. So when we talked about awe, on the first day, we talked about things like, seeing a sunset or a sunrise, seeing a mountain peak, being at the beach. So things that are maybe in our natural habitat, or if we just, did some local travel. And then we talked about yesterday going to some of these hidden gems in Europe that could, give us this ability to have awe and experience awe. But the truth is, like, unless we have unlimited resources, like, we can't always take a trip, right? So, be it finances or life happening or just being in between trips, like, we have to figure out how can we get more awe into our life when we can't take the next trip just yet. And what was great about what the woman said about the UC Berkeley project was that she said, even having something as simple as your screensaver with something with nature could be a reminder of awe. So we have this ability to create awe no matter where we are, no matter what position we sit in. So I started thinking about this. I said, okay, so what can we do as a community who we are encouraging one another, lifting up one another, trying to bring more joy, more light, more love, more positivity, more beauty into each other's life? How can we encourage each other to get more awe into our life? So one of the things I thought, well, maybe we could go take a walk in the park. So if you live near a park, go take a walk in the park. If you need more resilience, go take a walk in the park. Or if you live near a lake or a beach, like, go take that in. And then I thought, well, okay, maybe the screensaver, that's a good idea. And then I remembered one of the things I did when I was in the throes of the weight of grief when my mom passed. I had been reading about how gratitude, helps you when you're in the grieving process. And so in addition to having a gratitude journal where I tried to, write 1 or 2 things a day that I had to be grateful for, I also created on my phone an album called Gratitude. So it was filled with pictures of people, places, and things all things that I was so thankful, or moments I was so thankful for, and grateful to God that I had in my life. So if I was having a down moment, a down day, I would open up the album, flip through it, the gratitude album, flip through it, and just again have this feeling of peace. Like, okay, yes, there's so much in life. No matter how heavy or bad things feel, there's so much in life to be grateful for. And so I thought, well, why don't we apply this to all? All right. So if you're on a travel sabbatical, a forced sabbatical, because life is just happening, you can't travel, finances, life situation, or maybe you're just in between trips. So it's not that there's anything going on, just you're living life and you have one trip planned and it's in a few months from now or a few weeks from now. What can you do in the short term to create awe? Well, maybe you can just take that look back. So go through your photos. I have like 32,000 photos in my phone. Crazy. Go through your photos and make an album called Awe. I said, I'm going to do this, and put in there all the, scenes that have been wow moments for you. I know there have literally been times I've been on a trip. In fact, I recently posted my one day in Kotor, Montenegro. And I remember riding up on the cable car, and as the view began to be more and more expansive, I just kept going, wow, 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 right? That was an awe moment for sure. And so all those awe moments, put them in an album within your phone. Some places, we always have our phones with us everywhere we go. So you're sitting, waiting for the train. You're in the house, kids are crying, people are yelling, everyone's pulling at you, somebody needs something. Open up your phone, go to awe. Just remind yourself of all the things that brought you joy, that brought you that childlike joy, all the things that made you just say, wow. All those moments that really filled you up with how amazing the world is. And let's get some more resilience, right? Let's be stronger in 2026. Let's have that ability to be flexible and pliable, that ability to bounce back. Let's have that ability to be tough under pressure in 2026. And let's use awe as our way to get there. Now, I hope that more travel will be in our lives in 2026. But when we have those moments where, life happens, we have to support friends, we have to support families, maybe we're going through something tough or struggle within our own self, within our own lives, we have the ability to bring up awe at any time and to be resilient. So I would love to hear from you. Don't have your girl out here by herself. Somebody comment. I would love to hear. Give us some more ideas as a community. What are other ways we can introduce awe and wonder and childlike joy into our life? What are some strategies we could take to do that? So put that in the chat. Or if you have experienced awe and you have experienced this resilience, put that in the chat. I would love to hear from you. I hope something today sparked a thought for you of what you can do to bring about more awe, joy, wonder, childlike joy into your life. Please do like, please do comment, please do subscribe. I would love to hear from you. I really want us to build community. Well, with that, friends, we have reached the end of our time together today. But there's no need for sorrow, because I will see you tomorrow. But until then, keep chasing travel beauty wherever your journeys may take you.